how about specialists?
Well, there's certainly no shortage of stars tonight. Michigan's Charlie Larson is ranked #1 in the country on floor exercise with one of the most dynamic routines you'll ever see. I talked to him yesterday and he said for him, his routine feels easy. Hard to believe, but no doubt he is one of the best in the business on this event. Now for Nebraska, Asher Cohen is your top man in the NCAA on still rings with gravity-defying strength. One of the most difficult routines being competed on this event in the nation. He's got unbelievable strength and solid execution. You can't miss him on that event.
Finally, we have some pommel horse stars.
We sure do. Expect a Big Ten battle on pommel horse between the Illini's Brandon Dang, Ohio State's Parker Thaxton, and Michigan's Aronson Mansberger, ranked 1st, 2nd, and 3rd in the nation.
Reminding you how tonight works. It's 6 rotations, 2 events at a time, 4 up, 4 count. It's the team and all-around champions determined tonight. Tomorrow will be the event champions. Brandon, break down execution and difficulty, please.
Well, gymnastics scoring is a mix of 2 things. How hard is the routine and how well do you do it? We take the most difficult skills, the top 8 that a gymnast does, we add up the value of those skills, and that gives us the difficulty score. Separately, your execution starts from a perfect 10, and the judges deduct from that for any errors. We take the difficulty score, combine it with what's left of the execution score, and that gives us the final number.
Let's meet the coaches tonight. Starting with Daniel Ribeiro, 4th season at Illinois, where he was a NCAA pommel champion in 2009 and 2011. He is the top man for the Illini. And Coach Schau from Michigan, 4-time Big Ten Coach of the Year, and of course led Michigan to their 7th national championship last year. For Nebraska, our host, Chuck Chimelka, who won 3 national championships as a gymnast at Nebraska, now in 17 seasons, and led Nebraska to a share of the 2024 Big Ten regular season title. And Rustam Sharapov, a gold medalist for Ukraine in the 1996 Olympics, and he was the head coach of the 2001 national champion as well, 2-time Olympic gold medalist Rustam Sharapov. And how about Penn State, Randy Jepson, in his 35th season. He actually spent 8 years before that as an assistant coach, and he's coached the team to 3 national championships, the last one coming in 2007. All right, so Nebraska will start on the floor, where they are 1st in the Big Ten, 2nd in the country, and Illinois will start on the rings. It'll be Max Odden, who is 9th in the nation, a 13.65 in his last meet. For the rings, Illinois, Garrett Schooley with a 13.8 career high. And off we go with a team championship and an all-around champion on the line, Brandon.
Over there on the left side of your screen, Max Odden getting things started for the Cornhuskers. These leadoff spots are so critical, especially in a postseason championship meet. You want to get your team started on the right foot with some positive momentum.
You will be seeing 2 events at one time quite often here tonight as we try to catch every single gymnast.
Garrett Schooley fighting on the right side of your screen there. Had to fight to stay in the handstand. They're called the still rings for a reason. You don't want to see any movement in those handstands. Just the dismount here. Very nicely done. Not what he's capable of, but avoids disaster for the Illini. Another look at that dismount on the right. Double twisting, double back. That's 2 flips, 2 twists in 1 piece of air.
Illinois, 5th in the nation on the rings. As we move to Jacob Harmon in the high bar with a career high of 14.05, coming off a 13.45. And on the P bars for Michigan, Carson Eshelman. Last meet of 13.65.
Dean, it's worth noting parallel bars, a lucky event for these Wolverines. The same event they started the national championships on last year, where they won And I can tell you from some previous coaching experience, there's a little bit of mindset there that says, well, if it worked last time, why not do it again? Jacob Harmon flying high on the right side of your screen with a stuck dismount to kick things off for the Buckeyes on high bar. As a reminder, those sticks count for a 1/10 stick bonus. In addition to that, you avoid the potential deduction for taking a step or hop on landing.
Normally, Harmon will find the camera as Penn State will get started on the vault with Kellen Ryan coming off a 13.95, has a career high of 14.2. Nathan York, who finished second on the floor last year in the Big Ten Championships. Career high, season high set this year. 14 his last meet, he had a 13.
Kellen Ryan with the stuck vault. First routine for the Nittany Lions. What a way to start things off. Right side of your screen here, 2.5 twists all the way around. That's a Kazumatsu style vault, very difficult to stick. It's a blind landing because you really don't see the floor until your feet are on it, but great stuff there for the Nittany Lions.
Logan Myers next on the rings for the Illini, coming off a 13.6, his career high 14.05.
Beautiful work from Myers and the Illini squad there on the rings on the right side. If you're counting at home, the rule is 2 full seconds. All these strength skills must be held. Two dismounts at the same time there, one on floor, one on rings. Small hop backwards for both of them. But the most important thing early on in a championship meet like this is to hit routines, build momentum, and put yourself in a solid position as you continue to get more comfortable throughout the meet.
Back to Michigan we go, and Pierce Wolfgang set his season high in his last meet with 13.75, just short of his career high of 14. Pierce Wolfgang, second to go for Michigan on the P-bars. Noah Copeland is up and at him. He is 11th in the country on the high bar with a 13.65 career high, season high.
Fun fact, Dean, I was told that Noah Copeland has been giving his teammates haircuts. He got interested in barbering, grabbed a pair of clippers, so I guess those crisp fades on the OSU team were brought to you in part by Noah Copeland.
I thought he cut your hair, actually, because it's looking good.
Just a small hop there on the left from Pierce Wolfgang. Should still be a solid score. Michigan does have high difficulty and a high start value, so they just need to focus on hitting their routines, and they'll be tough to beat tonight.
Just a little scooch for Wolfgang as we go back to the vault. Kellen Ryan, by the way, 14.1, just short of his career high. Here's the Big Ten Freshman of the Year, Sean Smith, 14th in the nation on the vault with a career high of 14.2. James next to go for Nebraska on your left.
Sean Smith over there, another great vault for Penn State. Remember, vault is one of the highest scoring events in men's gymnastics because it is only one skill, less room for deduction. So I would not be surprised if Penn State is up after this first rotation.
Preston Nye, who is one of the best in the country, next to go, 14.05. He finished 5th in 2025 in the Big Ten Championships.
Luke James working through that floor routine nicely on the left. On the right, though, Preston Nye, a display of strength. He definitely prefers a slightly lower Maltese shape. That strength skill where he held himself parallel to the floor in between the rings. Some guys feel a little stronger, just slightly above level. And oh! Not sure what happened there, if that was a grip malfunction. If the judges determined that it was, he actually gets to repeat that routine.
Luke James is fired up in front of the home crowd here in Lincoln.
Let's take a look with the slow motion on the right there. Hard to tell from the replay, but he's definitely shaking his arms, looking at his hands. We'll see what happens there.
Move back to the high bar where Drake Andrews will be next to go for Ohio State. Coming off a disappointing 12.75. He's got a career high of 13.85. And Fred Richard, all eyes on Fred.
We're defending Big Ten all-around champion. This is a good event for him. That's a rough start, though. Difficult skill to front uprise into a stutz. A lot of people do that skill from support. Not many can do it from their upper arms. Took a few steps there. But high-flying releases from Fred, just back-to-back. Major difficulty here from Fred Richard. And this is what Fred is so good at. Even though he had a little bobble earlier in the routine, he gets through the rest of it cleanly, almost sticks the dismount, and as you can see from the celebration, energy stays high. Big double front, lots of power, almost finishes that second flip at bar height. Gives him so much time to prepare for that landing. Beautifully done.
On the left side of your Big Ten Network screen, Nebraska back on the floor. As it's Chase Mondi, 7th in the nation, Chase is, with a career high of 14.56.
Chase got second at the NCAA championships on this event a year ago. He can be brilliant here. And then on the right, Preston Nye looks as though he is continuing his routine from where he left off, which means they determined it was not an equipment failure. Otherwise, they would have allowed him to restart completely. Good finish there for Preston, but you never want to count a fall on the rings. Typically a safer event, so not what they were looking for there.
So now Drake Andrews on the high bar for the Buckeyes.
Dismount on the left for Chase Mondi. Doesn't quite get the stick, but a very difficult floor routine for him. He was actually injured over the summer. Worked hard to rehab himself to get in lineup here at the end of the season. Big Coleman there on the right from Drake Andrews. It's a full twisting double back over the bar. There's the Kovacs. Same skill, but without the full twist. Just jam-packed difficulty for Drake Andrews.
On the left, the anchor on the P-bars from Michigan, Solon Quixote, with a 13.75 as a career high and season high.
We've already got one stick on high bar. Can we get another? Yes, we can, courtesy of Drake Andrews. Here's another look at that Kovacs double backflip over a steel bar 9 feet in the air. Right before the broadcast, I was working on teaching Dean how to do that. Still got some work to do.
Matthew Underhill next to go with a 14.45 career high.
Over on the left for Michigan, Solon working his way through this P-bar routine pretty nicely. A lot of difficulty and intricate twists and turns here. And it looks like Underhill for Penn State might have stepped out of bounds. Tough to tell from that angle, but if the judges determine that he did step out, that will be an additional deduction. Let's see if we can tell. That right foot, that looks like it's out of bounds to me. Out of bounds with 1 foot is only a 1/10 additional deduction on top of what the judges take for the step itself.
Can't tell you that Fred Richard did tie his season high of 14.15, and that's what he had last week as well, 14.15.
And that is some impressive strength here from the Illini. That first skill was called an Azarian Maltese. Comes from underneath the rings, has to anti-gravity himself above the rings. Very difficult work here.
We're watching Hassan Aidodu, who is 12th in the country on the rings.
A fight there for the handstand. That is exhausting when you have to use your strength to still yourself in the handstand. Just the dismount. Manages enough energy to get it to his feet. That was another double twisting, double back. Very high difficulty routine there from Hassan. Here's what the judges are watching. They want to see you stop perfectly at that handstand. When you wobble around like that, not only do you incur deductions, but it's just exhausting.
Good look at Hassan Aidodu as the anchor for Penn State on the vault on your right. Meanwhile, Christian Grahowski for the Buckeyes on your left. Landon Simpson, by the way, career high, season high, 14.15 at a 14.05 at his last meet.
Landon can be great here on the vault. He's got good form. Another 2.5. Pretty good. Big step. That one will be 3/10 for the deduction. But overall, a strong start for the Nittany Lions on vault. On your left, Christian Grahowski does a very unique dismount. Tugs double-double. I don't know, Dean. It almost looked like a stick, but I think that right foot might have come up just a little bit.
Nice, solid performance by Grahowski, though.
Let's see what we can learn from this dismount. Look at the right foot. His heels came off the ground, maybe a little slide. I don't think the judges will give it to him, but nonetheless minimizes the deduction to only 1/10 on the landing there.
So the Buckeyes have 2 all-arounders on the high bar. Jesse Pichelli and David Ramirez. We'll start with Jesse, and they're going extra as it's 4 up, 4 count, but in the all-around, they'll add these 2 on here, Brandon.
That's right. So these next 2 routines for the Buckeyes will not count toward the team total on this event, but it will count towards each of these athletes' individual all-around campaigns. By nature of doing the all-around, you have to compete on all 6 events, but they didn't quite make that top 4 lineup for the team competition. So this is just for their individual efforts.
Jesse really fired up. Told me earlier tonight that both of his parents flew in from Hawaii to be here to watch Jesse here in Lincoln. Jesse Pichelli with a career high of 13.2. Well, I can tell you that Michigan, a season high team total on the P-bars.
Oh, and a little bit of a struggle here from Jesse. And that right there, and that will be both 5/10 deductions for swinging back down the wrong way. Oh, and just a struggle on this high bar routine here. He needs to clean it up as much as he can and get off the bar. See if he can minimize deduction toward the end here. Double twisting, double layout, big hop on the landing there. He'll hope to improve on that as he continues his all-around campaign. Again, disaster avoided for the Buckeyes as a team. That does not count toward their team event total, but it will put Jesse in a difficult spot to try and compete for the podium for his all-around score.
Well said, Brandon, as the Buckeyes, as we mentioned, have two. David Ramirez also part of the all-around story, and he'll be next to hit the high bar for the Buckeyes. Ramirez has a career high on the high bar of a 14.05.
And we mentioned him during the Open, capable of some big numbers in the all-around. He went very close to 81 during the meet versus Michigan a few weeks ago. And that's a national level score. That puts you in the top 10, perhaps even top 5 nationally. So he is a real threat for that all-around title tonight.
Christian Grachowski, his teammate, with a career-high 14.2 on the high bar. That will count toward the team score. Congratulations to Christian, as David Ramirez.
And Dean, I can tell you, this is the worst feeling as a gymnast when you have to wait around a little while. Sometimes the judges, they're doing the best they can to tabulate everything, but they can ice you out a little bit. If you wait too long, you're amped up, you're ready to go. The nerves can work against you. Really unique skill there. Full twisting Jaeger. Don't see that too often.
Gustav Sharapov, gold medalist from Ukraine, head coach of the Buckeyes. Left-hand side.
Oh, and another mistake. That's the same skill that Jesse Pekele had a rough time with there. What's interesting, he did the same skill but with a full twist right before that, and it was a little bit flat, meaning he went too far past the handstand. I think he tried to overcorrect on the next skill, which was very similar. And again, another big break here for the Buckeyes all around.
All right, that will end a long first rotation, but we are off and running. The Cornhuskers trying to get it done in front of the home crowd. We'll be back with rotation number 2 right after this. Right now, get 3 months of Big Ten Plus for just $5.99 a month with promo code SAVE26. You get access to hundreds of live Big Ten sporting events, full and condensed replays and highlights. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to BigTenPlus.com and make sure to enter SAVE26 when selecting a monthly pass at checkout to take advantage of this offer. Let's take a look at the weekly awards. A lot of maize and blue in there.
Absolutely. I guess that's what you get when you've won the last 5 Big Ten championships in a row. Fred Richard, Gymnast of the Week, for good reason there. Charlie Larson, we mentioned during the Open, ranked number 1 in the country on that event. Asher Cohen has led on the rings basically the entire season. Looking forward to seeing him later on this evening. And then Chase Pappas, the freshman, 14.5 on vault for a career high last week.
All right, Brandon Burns, let's talk about deductions and what the judges are looking for.
Well, deductions can be pretty nuanced, but here's some of the most common ones that you'll see. Steps or hops can be either 1/10 or 3/10 depending on how large they are, with smaller ones only incurring a 1/10 deduction, larger ones being 3/10. General form deductions like bent arms, bent legs, and leg separations could be either 1, 3, or 5/10 depending on the severity. But the big one that you want to avoid, you see it at the bottom of the screen there, is a fall off of the apparatus. That is a 1-point deduction every time, and Dean, that can mean the difference between victory and defeat in a meet like this.
Of course, the Heisman Trophy of this sport is the Nissen Emery. We're in Nebraska, where the Cornhuskers have won 3 Heisman Trophies on the football side, and they've got Asher Cohen eligible for the Nissen Emery on the gymnastics side.
Well, the Nissen Emery Award really is the highest honor in men's gymnastics, and so many things go into it. It isn't necessarily just the overall best athlete. It's someone who demonstrates excellence in the gym and outside of the gym. They're looking at who you are as an athlete as well as an individual. Certainly a prestigious award that all of these guys are more than worthy of winning.
Nebraska Heisman Trophy winners Johnny Rogers, Mike Rozier, and Eric Crouch. Michigan, by the way, #1 in the country on the high bar. And of course, as you see Fred warming up, who could forget last year, Evgeny won the event title on the high bar for Michigan. You see the most consecutive titles won. Michigan trying to tie their own streak set back in the 60s.
Michigan on a generational run here in the Big Ten, winning the last 5. Always had a strong high bar team too, certainly these last few years.
Rotation 2 will feature Ohio State on the floor, where they're 6th in the country. Nebraska on the horse, they're 4th in the nation. Penn State on the P-bars, 7th in the nation. Michigan, as we already told you, #1 in the country on the high bar. And Illinois will start on the vault, where they're 10th in the country. Our 2 boxes start will feature the floor with the Buckeyes and the pommel horse with the Cornhuskers. Jacob Harmon will start for Illinois. In his last meet, he set his season high of 13.6, just a couple points short of his career high of 13.8. Meanwhile, Wyatt Reynolds will be the first to go. He set his career high, season high in his last meet with a 13.5. Wyatt Reynolds on the right for the Huskers.
Some big amplitude from Harmon on that opening pass. And again there, double twisting, double back. We've seen that skill done on high bar and rings, but there it is on the floor. On the right for the Cornhuskers, Wyatt Reynolds has an excellent basic swing, really elegant routine here. Tons of potential on this event as he continues to add difficulty throughout his career. And that is what you're looking for, ladies and gentlemen. On the right, on pommel horse, just flies up to the handstand. No strength needed, no hesitation. That is exactly what the judges want to see at the end of a pommel horse routine.
The crowd loved the start for Wyatt Reynolds on the horse.
Just the dismount here for Harmon, double pike. Small hop backwards. Nothing to be too worried about. Should be a good leadoff score for the Buckeyes.
Pierce Wolfgang finished 3rd last year at the Big Ten Championships on the high bar. Last meet had a 13.9, career high 14. Wolfgang on the high bar for the Wolverines. State Akseli Karsikis with a 13.4 in his last meet, career high and season high.
Pierce Wolfgang caught that Kovacs at the perfect distance from the bar. If you're too far away, obviously you won't grab it again, you'll fall off. And if you're too close, puts you in a bad situation for the giant swing out of it. Pierce just nailed the distance from the bar there. Triple back dismount here on the right. And nails the landing. 3 flips, 1 piece of air, no movement on the landing. Excellent work from Pierce Wolfgang, and he's fired up as he should be. Watch this, 1, 2, 3.
Beautiful.
Just nails it. Over on the left, Akseli Karsikis, he says, I will match you stick for stick. Does a double front half out on the parallel bars. Big dismount. And a great landing to top it all off. A lot of momentum, good height. He sees the floor. A lot of guys choose to do that half out for that purpose.
It's Tate Costa for Illinois with a career high of 14.1. Meanwhile, Noah Copeland will hit the floor coming off at 13.8, just short of his career high in his last meet.
Replay on the right of Tate Costa's vault. Only a double full, not the most difficult vault we'll see. Coach Ribeiro did say that vault is probably the Illini's weakest event this year. Said if we can get out of vault only 1 or 2 points behind, we'll be happy with that.
right before Copeland hit the floor. Jacob Harmon ties his season high for the Buckeyes at 13-6. Caden Clinton ready to hit the horse for the Cornhuskers, coming off a 13-7. He is 7th in the conference on the horse.
And this is an exciting routine from Caden Clinton on the right here, Dean. He's going to do almost the entire second half of the routine, starting right now in this flared position. It's exciting to watch, but trust me, it is tiring. Little stutter step on the left from Noah Copeland there. Does a good job staying on his feet, though. What a dismount. You can hear the crowd in the background rooting for this home team. Just flies up to the handstand directly from the flares, puts a little style on it.
Cornhusker fans for all sports are truly special.
He does increase his difficulty by doing those spins or pirouettes in the handstand across the horse as he dismounts.
Landon Blixt next to go on the high bar, coming off a meet the last time where he set his career high of 14.35. He's 9th in the country. Meanwhile, it'll be Kasper Garncharnik will be up with a 13.65 career high.
Unique release elements from Landon Blixt on the high bar. Does his Tkachevs, where he flies backwards over the bar directly from that Stalter element, where he brings his body closer to the bar and circles around it. That does increase the difficulty value. And what a fight from Landon Blixt. Oh, and just could not hang on. That skill, Dean, has been giving everyone trouble. That's what we saw Jesse Pichelli and David Ramirez fall on the high bar last rotation. Right here, that's a half talk and a phenomenal job managing to hang on, but probably took a little bit of his energy away and then just could not find the bar on that release element.
Buckeyes delighted to have Chase Davenport Mills back this year, coming off a 13.3. His season high is 14.05. His career high, you see it right there, 14.3.
Blixt with the dismount on the right. He does get the stick and will get the 1/10 stick bonus. Does a good job of minimizing deductions after that. But he'll be down about 1.5 points between the form break on the skill before the fall and the fall itself.
Dylan Shepard, his career high is a 14. Second to go for Illinois on the right-hand side of your Big Ten Network screen.
First time we've seen that tonight, Dean. That's a Yurchenko-style vault. Round off onto the springboard, back handspring onto the table. Typically a little bit cleaner than the Kazumatsu-style vaults that we're used to.
Next up, Nick Tarka with a 13.3 in his last meet.
And that was a tough dismount on the left from Davenport Mills. Does a combination pass as his last pass. That was a whip into an Arabian double front. Done pretty well. Nick on the right opens up with those scissor style elements. That is a requirement. Every athlete must do at least one of them on the pommel horse. Left, Landon Simpson. That's the skill Fred Richard had some trouble with. The front uprise studs. No trouble for Landon. Remember, he is in that all-around race against Fred as well. And on the right, Nick Tarka, another hit pommel horse routine. Meanwhile, not so much luck for Landon Simpson and the Nittany Lions on the left. Oh, and that's a tough fall right there. That skill is called a Peters. It's a studs to one bar and just misses the grab point with his right hand. And it falls on his forearm there. You know that doesn't feel good. He'll now have 30 seconds to remount the bars and continue from where he left off.
Wait for Landon Simpson to get back up. Carson Eshelman, 3rd in the nation on the high bar this season. Career high of 14.6, and they'll need a big score after the rare fall from Landon Blixt.
Meanwhile, Landon Simpson on the left struggling a little more. Saw him hopping around with his hands and then stuttering on the dismount as well. That will not be what the Nittany Lions were looking for there after that open door from Michigan.
Jesse McKelly for the all-around with the floor for the Buckeyes. We can tell you that Pierce Wolfgang tied his career high 14-0. That'll help make up for the fall from Blix a little bit.
It sure will. There's another triple back dismount from the Wolverines. This one on behalf of Carson Eshelman. Not quite the landing that we saw previously. There will be at least 4/10 of deduction on the landing, but overall still a clean routine there for the Wolverines.
Preston Nye on the right, coming off a 13.15. Does have a career high on the vault of a 14.9.
Jesse McKelly doing his non-acrobatic skill on the floor. He is a former Big Ten champ on that event. Meanwhile, Preston Nye on the right probably stepped out of bounds with that 1 foot. But again, vault not the Illini's strongest event, so the fact that he is doing a 2.5 on the vault will help out their overall difficulty score on that event.
A lot of noise for Nebraska, 4th in the nation on the horse. It'll be Nathan York in the anchor spot for Chuck Chimelka's Cornhuskers. Coming up at 13.7, Nathan does have a career high of 14. Well, for the P-Bars, Eliran Jaskovic with a 13.8 career high.
Nathan has a lot of difficult skills. You saw that full spin on one arm early in the routine. Nice travel sequence there. Coach Schmelka said, I have all the trust in the world in Yorkie, as they call him. Oh, and the broadcaster's curse. It's Nathan York. His hand just slipped right off the pommel. Right there, his elbow buckled, his hand slipped off to the left side a little bit there, right at the very end of his routine.
Eliran also fell as Randy Jepson.
Nathan finishing up his dismount there, and Eliran on the left. After that Diamondov-style element just could not hang on. Remember, Dean, each one of these falls is a full 1-point deduction, and you cannot count, or rather you must count every missed routine. Does a good job there, Eliran does, of sticking that dismount, recapturing some bonus points there. But certainly not what the Nittany Lions were hoping for.
No, but they did see Oxelli with a career high of 13.55, and then Casper with a season high of 13.25 on the P-Bars. So State will get a little relief there. It's David Ramirez. Again, this does not count for the team score, but for the all-around story it does. David Ramirez hits the floor. Career high of 13.35. Oh my, Fred Richard. This foul, I can't believe it.
Extremely uncharacteristic mistake from Fred there. This is a very complex skill called a Liukin. It's a full twisting layout to Kachev, just a little too far away from the bar. Couldn't get those dowels around the other side of the bar. Those grips contain a small wooden dowel, and if it does not go around the far side of the bar, there is no chance at hanging on, and that's what happened to Fred there.
Fred set his season high at his last meet of a 14.4. He's had a 15.3 on the high bar for the Wolverines.
I'll tell you what, Dean, that Coleman from Fred on the right there was pretty close as well. Ramirez happy with that performance on the floor for his all-around campaign on the left. Meanwhile, Fred needs to minimize deduction to get out of high bar alive here. Double-double. 3/10 hop on the landing, certainly not what he's capable of. Because his difficulty is so high, it's not a disaster, but certainly not what he was looking for.
Kellen Ryan, all-arounder on the left. Let's take a look at Fred's dismount.
High-flying stuff here. 2 flips, 2 twists, laid out straight body position. Was looking for the stick, didn't get it, but high-flying gymnastics nonetheless.
Illinois Garrett Schooley finished 9th last year. He is 2nd in the nation this go-around with a career high of 14.75. Garrett Schooley, the anchor, on the vault for the Illini.
And he's capable, one of the few that are capable of doing a triple full on this event. Not sure if he'll do it. 1, 2. That was quick. That almost looked like 2 twists to me, Dean. I might have to catch a replay to tell for sure. No, that was a triple. It was just so good it looked like 2. We'll see what the judges call it. But he was fired up about it.
Nebraska all-arounder Max Odden coming off a 12-2 will be, again, this will not count toward the team score, but Max Odden, part of the all-around story here today. We'll crown a team champion and all-around champion.
Coach Schmelka told us that Max was originally recruited solely as a high bar guy. And after a lot of hard work over the years, here he is doing all around at the Big Ten Championships. I'll tell you what, that's a nice routine for a guy who doesn't consider himself a horseman.
Well done, Max.
Dismount directly from the side loop, so he does have to add some extra spins or pirouettes at the handstand there, make up for the lost difficulty, but does a nice job of it.
Rotation 2 in the books. Coverage of the Big Ten Men's Gymnastics Championships rolling here in Lincoln. We'll be back with more high flyers after this break. Tomorrow, we're all over the Final Four from Indianapolis. Coverage starts at noon Eastern with a preview show. Then at 5, the pregame show gets you ready for tip-off. And when the action is over, we break it all down on the big show, only on the Big Ten Network and the Fox Sports app. How cool would it be to have Michigan and Illinois in the national championship game? Good luck to both of those fine programs. The award winners were announced this week in the sport of men's gymnastics.
Fred Richard, Gymnast of the Year, notably the 2nd time of his career. You do not see that very often. Then Ohio State's Parker Thaxton, Specialist of the Year. He's currently ranked 2nd in the country. Notably, he scored above a 15 over 3 times this season. And then Sean Smith, Freshman of the Year, first Nittany Lion to win it since 2017.
If you're wondering why Fred didn't win it last year, it was Taylor Christopoulos as we look at the sportsmanship honorees.
So many good athletes here in this lineup. Sportsmanship is such an important part of men's gymnastics. It really does become one big family. There's so few programs in the Division I level, and everybody's rooting for each other, even when they're competing.
Let's take a look at the team scores through 2 rotations. The Pinnacle Bank Arena. Rare fall from Fred Richard as you take a look at What do you think, Brandon?
Well, you see Penn State in the lead, 107.6. That most likely is because they've already gone to vault. Again, we mentioned that's the highest scoring event in men's gymnastics. And quite frankly, they did a fantastic job on that event. So I'm not surprised to see them in the lead. What I am surprised by is the fact that Michigan is still in second after having to count 2 falls on the high bar. Just goes to show how talented they really are and how high their difficulty values are. But then Ohio State trailing not far behind them after a great rotation. They're in rotation 2, and even Illinois, 106.2. So everybody is still in this, Dean. We said it during the open with 4 up, 4 count. Anything can happen. This is proof right here.
All right, Michigan will start on the floor where they're 4th in the nation. Solon Quixote coming off a 13.8. He's got a 14.6 career high. And Christian Grachowski, who finished 5th last year on the horse. The Buckeyes are 3rd in the nation on the horse. Michigan 4th in the nation on the floor.
Front double pike mount from Solon there on the left. That's a slightly different routine than the last time I saw him compete. Might have gone back to the drawing board in the gym and reconstructed this thing. Nice single pommel work there from Christian Grachowski on the right. A little bit of a fight during that traveling element. Had to use a little strength to stay on the horse. He covered it up beautifully, though. On the pommel horse, you're looking for a free swing. It should look easy. You can see him muscling it there a little bit. He slowed down toward the dismount, but again, manages to hang on and avoid the fall. Great fight there from Grachowski.
The Buckeyes finish up on the horse, so now we move to Nebraska on the rings. Ty Rodriguez with a 13.45 career high set in his last meet for the Cornhuskers. Meanwhile, Sam Kaplan, 9th in the conference on the P-bars, first to go for the Illini, 13.25 in the last meet. Career high for Sam is a 13.65.
Ironically, Dean, Coach Jamelka told us that rings is their weakest event by far this year, which is interesting because they have the #1 man in the country on that event on their squad. We'll see him in the anchor spot. For now, Ty Rodriguez working through his routine. Nice handstand there. It's exactly what you want to see. Right up to the handstand to a perfect stop. Sam Kaplan on the left, that Peters element, a little bit of muscle work there to get up to the handstand, and again, that's a big break right there. That Stutz needed to go straight up to the handstand, and again, the fall on the dismount. Well, I don't know, Dean, that angle of the handstand there on rings wasn't quite as good as the one we saw live. You can see so much more detail there. That's the angle the judges are sitting at, by the way. Off to the side of the rings, not dead on.
Kasper Garncharek next to go for Penn State on the high bar with a career high of 13.7. Landon Blix, trying to forget about the fall that he just had in the last rotation. His career high on the floor is a 14.65.
We've talked about it all season, Dean. Strategic amnesia is what's required here in men's gymnastics. He had a big opening pass. 2 skills directly connected back-to-back, which he will get bonus points for. Meanwhile, high-flying gymnastics from Kasper Garncharek on the high bar. Beautiful work there from Kasper on the right. That's that full tock, and there's the half tock. Those skills have been giving everyone trouble today, but not for Kasper. Can't quite get the stick for the Nittany Lions on the right there, but a great routine from Kasper Garncharek. Should be a pretty big score to kick them off on that event. Landon Blix on the left, full twisting double back. Can't quite get the stick, a little hoppy. He usually sticks more landings than that. Could be some nerves, but nothing too bad.
Jace Hashimoto 13.35 in his last meet, just short of his career high of 13.4. He's up on the horse for the Buckeyes right now. Tate Costa on the left, 14.1 career high. He's actually coming off his season high in his last meet of a 13.05.
Methodically working through this routine. Jace Hashimoto on the right. Just the dismount left. Nicely done. Not the most difficult routine that we'll see on pommel horse, but he does his job. And in a meet like this, that's all you can ask for. Some quick rhythm there from Tate Costa. Maybe rushing through that routine a little bit, but made it look good. Did what he needed to do for the Illini.
Sam Rakita is next to go on the rings for the Cornhuskers. They're 7th in the nation on the rings, as Fred Richard on the left for Michigan. Career high of a 14.8.
Sam Rakita there on the right. One of the best back uprise Malteses you'll ever see. Just stops it cold. So difficult to stop that momentum in a swing to strength skill like that. Sam makes it look easy. Meanwhile, on the left, Fred Richard double twisting, double layout to open up his routine. Major difficulty. Those double layout skills were upgraded a year ago. Fred taking full advantage of that. That's not what you want to see from the veteran Fred Richard. Just a double full down the side. That's a skill he can do in his sleep and takes a pretty big hop on it. Nice flare work here from Fred. Gives him an opportunity perhaps to collect those nerves. The Big Ten Championships are a very unique environment. It's high pressure, it's high energy.
Landon Simpson on the right for Penn State with a season high of 13.5. Oh, another miss here. It's a little bit contagious.
It absolutely is. The good news is Fred Richard on the left just stuck his dismount. That'll energize that Wolverine team. But to your point, Dean, when you look around and you see mistakes happening, it is so hard to not let that affect you. Here's another look at the last pass. It's a double back with a full twist, spots the landing, and just nails it. That'll give him and that Wolverine squad some momentum.
Nebraska fans, if this young man looks familiar, he's now with Illinois. Talking about Sam Phillips, who spent 5 years at Nebraska and then went to the Illini to pick up another degree. He's actually finished his master's as well. Sam Phillips with a career high of 14.4, now representing the Illini.
We were talking about Sam before the broadcast, Dean. I said, I think he's been around so long. He was at Nebraska when I was in college.
Jepson, Patty Simpson on the back. Conlon Simpkins next to go for the Buckeyes. Had a fall in his last meet, so scored just 11.65, but on the positive of 14.15. And Phillips, for him, a thrill to be back here at Pinnacle Bank Arena and be in Lincoln.
The veteran Sam Phillips hits a nice routine there.
Number one on your left in the country and the conference, Charlie Larson with a career high of 14.85. He finished 7th last year on the floor.
Beautiful front double pike to start things off for Charlie Larson. We spoke to him yesterday. He said he used to put so much pressure on himself, but these days, his direct quote was, "I'm just vibing." And a struggle on the pommel horse for Conlon Simpkins. He manages to get up to the handstand and avoids disaster. Had he reversed direction with his hips here, meaning had he gone right there and then allowed himself to come back down and back up again, that would be no credit for the dismount. So he'll lose some difficulty value there for not completing the full pirouettes in the dismount, but probably a smart decision to just muscle his way up to the handstand and get out of there.
Meanwhile, Charlie Larson putting on a show on the floor.
Very dynamic routine from Charlie. Lots of showmanship there.
Max Odden.
And Charlie Larson with a stuck double layout dismount and a celebration well earned.
That's why he is #1 in the country.
Here's the dismount double layout. Tough skill to do at the end of a routine. Requires so much energy, and the teammates love it. And another stick from Nebraska over there on the rings from Max Odden. I tell you what, Dean, we've seen some mistakes from everybody at this point, but these guys aren't giving up.
Dylan Shepard next to go for Illinois. He's the anchor. Then they'll have two all-arounders in Nye and Schooley. Shepard with a career high of 14.05. He finished 7th last year at the Big Ten Championships on the P-bars.
And I love that skill Shepard just did on the left there. It was a hop 3/4 turn, very unique. Almost never see that. One of those skills that's kind of tricky to do and not valued very highly, but he makes it look great.
Akseli Karsikis on the high bar for Penn State. Finished 5th last year. He's 6th in the nation with a career high set in his last meet of 14 flat.
Check out this dismount coming up on the left from Dylan Shepard on the parallel bars. One of the most unique you'll ever see, and he sticks it nonetheless. Does a double pike off the end of the bars. I believe he's the only individual in the country that does this. So unique, very artistic. Over on the right, another stick for the Nittany Lions. Karsikis finishing in epic fashion there. Here's another look, full twisting double layout. Just nails the landing. That dismount allows you to see the floor almost the entire time, making it just a little bit easier to stick.
The anchor for the Buckeyes on the horse, Parker Thaxton, 2nd in the nation, and he finished 2nd last year at the Big Ten Championships. He has a career high of 15.3, and he is fun to watch on the horse.
And Dean, when we talk about career highs in the 15s, for most people, that's a one-time event. You had a great day, everything went perfectly, and you've got that massive score to show for it. Parker, though, routinely goes above the 15 mark. Just for context, most athletes would be happy if their start value or maximum possible score was 15.3, much less their final score. Parker Thaxton up to the handstand, a masterclass in the pommel horse taught by none other than Parker Thaxton.
Garrett Schooley on the left, actually leading the all-around through 2 rotations with a slim lead over Michigan's Fred Richard. On the right, #1 in the country. You pumped him up to start the show, Asher Cohen. And he is outstanding on the rings. Finished 2nd last year at the Big Ten Championships. He's got a career high of 14.7.
And Asher has led the conference as well as the nation on this event for most of the season. And that is the reason. Perfectly level. There is no room, in my opinion, for the judges to take deductions there. What are you going to take?
It's gorgeous.
There's no angle deduction. There's no short hold. Just gorgeous work from Cohen. Coach Schmelka said he can't say enough good things about Asher, the man he's turned into during his time here in Nebraska. Just a dismount, and he gets the stick. That is one of the best performed rings routines you will ever see, not just in the Big Ten, not just in the country, but in the world.
Well said. And the crowd loves it. #1 in the nation, Asher Cohen.
Well, we saw a masterclass on pommel horse from Parker Thaxton. This is a masterclass in rings from Asher Cohen.
All right, Illini fans, we can tell you Preston Nye has dropped out of the all-around, but Garrett Schooley still in it. Kellen Ryan on the right for Penn State, coming off his career high of a 13.35 in his last meet.
And a little struggle there from Garrett. As we've said in the past, Dean, technique is for the weak. You're strong enough, you can figure out just about anything. Kellen Ryan on the right had some big skills in that high bar routine. Big release moves. There's the double-double. Nice dismounts all around. Garrett Schooley, though, with a stick. That'll go to him some favors for his all-around campaign.
Speaking of the all-around campaign, David Ramirez for the Buckeyes. 13.85 career high on the horse, reminding you that his score will not count for the team race, but it will count for the all-around race.
Good scissor elements there. Both of those named after a gymnast that went to his rival school, Sam McCulloch, former Michigan gymnast and Olympian as well. On pommel horse, you're looking for a straight line between the shoulders and toes. Don't want to see any hip angle or piking in that circle. Tell you what though, pretty good for an all-arounder. Nice horse routine there from Ramirez.
Also anticipating Jesse Picelli to follow up David Ramirez.
Take another look at the dismount. The judges are looking for smooth rhythm there. No pauses, no leaning to the side. Just a smooth turn all the way through, and Ramirez displayed that wonderfully.
So Jesse Picelli not going to continue in the all-around, as we are now through 3 rotations, halfway through, as we search for a team title tonight on the Big Ten Network. July 11th, mark it down as the BTN Big 10K returns to Soldier Field in Chicago. Scan the QR code or register right now at btnbig10k.com to be a part of the 10K or 5K race and post-race tailgate party. The Cornhuskers hosting the Big Ten Championships. Let's talk all around. Fred Richard now has the lead.
Fred Richard manages to overtake Garrett Schooley for the lead even after his fall on high bar and a few uncharacteristic hops on the floor exercise. Garrett, though, still in there, less than 1 point between him and Fred Richard. One mistake from Fred, and that gap is closed. Look at the race for the bronze here between Kellen Ryan and Max Otten, separated by very, very little, less than a point there.
Wolverine dominance on the horse. Check it out, the recent all-around champions, rather. Look at Fred Richard, 3 in a row. Paul Judah was pretty good. Cameron Bach not too bad either.
Not at all. Michigan has a storied history of their all-arounders. Every season, they seem to have one individual that is consistent and all-around for them.
We'll be back with rotation 4 after a quick break. It's the Big Ten Men's Gymnastics Championships. Fred Richard as they wrap up their warm-ups right before we start the 4th rotation. Even on a day where he isn't quite as electrifying as he always is, he's still the all-around leader. Fred Richard, the real deal.
Well, that's just a testament to how difficult his routines are. You see the stats here: 2-time NCAA all-around champion, 3 times here in the Big Ten, and as we mentioned earlier, 2 times for the Big Ten Gymnast of the Year. Also an Olympic bronze medalist, and that experience comes into play in meets like this where things don't go perfectly. That mental strength, having been in this position before, are absolutely critical.
All right, Fred Richard will be on the horse for Michigan. We'll be back with more after another quick break. Welcome back to the 4th rotation. We're at Pinnacle Bank Arena here in Lincoln, Nebraska. Penn State will start on the floor where they're 7th in the country. Michigan will start on the horse where they're 2nd in the country. It'll be the Buckeyes on the rings. They're 6th in the nation. Illinois on the bars. They are 8th ranked nationally. And then Nebraska, the #1 team in the country, on the vault. But right now we start with Penn State's Braden Erickson, coming off at 12.6, career high 13.7. Then for Michigan, Zach Granados, finished 3rd last year on this event at the Big Ten Championships. He's got a career high of 14.6.
Well, Dean, if you're Michigan, there's good news and there's bad news. The good news is you're up by 3 and you haven't gone to vault yet. The bad news is you still have to get through pommel horse. And if things are going to go wrong, this is where it will be for the Wolverines. They need consistency from this lineup right now. Nice double front down the side there from Braden Erickson on behalf of the Nittany Lions. That's a tough skill to do in so little space. Over on the right side, though, Zach Granados doing what he has done year in, year out, meet after meet, and that is be a rock of consistency in that leadoff spot on the horse for the Wolverines.
The Illini next to go on the high bar. Hassan Idodu, career high 13.75 for Idodu, as Erickson wraps up on the floor for Penn State.
Good routine from Erickson, not his best, a few steps on the landing, but does what he needs to do and starts off with a hit.
So Hassan on the high bar, Christian Grahofsky with their career high of 13.466.
Hassan Idodu does a massive release element, typically gets a lot of amplitude. Will come up right here. Beautifully done. That's the Stalter to a Tkachev. Connecting those two skills does get him some bonus points. Just the dismount for Hassan, and he gets the stick. The Illini with some momentum. Coach Ribeiro said they've hit 90% of their routines over the last 3 weeks of practice, showing off some of that consistency here. High-flying dismounts from the Illini and the Buckeyes on their respective events.
Nathan York, first to go for Chuck Chimelka's Cornhuskers on the vault, coming off his career high in the last meet with a 14.6.
Coach Chimelka said this is the strongest vault team the Cornhuskers have ever had. Good vault there from Nathan York. Great form in the air. That step on the landing should be 3/10 for being larger than shoulder width, but he does such a good job at the early part of that vault, not separating his feet, minimizing deduction there.
Kasper Garncharek, second to go on the floor for Penn State, coming off a 13-3, has a career high of 13.35.
Oh, I think he stepped out of bounds there. He fought to keep it in, but you see the green flag go up. That means he will incur the out-of-bounds deduction. That's a tough skill there, though. Back 3.5 twist.
Kyle Walchuk with a 14.3 career high, now on the horse for Michigan.
And a little wild right there. And again, we said it earlier, if things are going to go wrong, pommel horse is that event. There's just no room for error, and you saw him fighting through some of those earlier skills, just couldn't quite hang on.
If you live and die by the 4-up, 4 count. I think you kind of set the table, though, Brandon, when you said Michigan, all of their gymnasts with such a high value that even when they fall, they still have big scores.
You've just got a little bit more margin for error when your start value is that high. And again, as we mentioned, they have not gone to vault yet. That's where they'll end, and that is the highest scoring event in men's gymnastics. Nice finish there from Walchuk, but we'll take the 1-point fall deduction.
Drake Andrews, second to go for the Buckeyes, coming off a 12.5 in his last meet. 13.95 career high for Drake Andrews.
He looks strong there, that uprise straight planche. Nicely done. This is a tough skill right here on the left. That's a straight body, straight arm press to handstand.
On the high bar, Ryan Vanish Theranot for the Illini with a career high of 14.25.
Ryan has such a great story for this season. He was injured all year, came back 10 days ago, went to Coach Ribeiro, says, what do I need to do? Daniel said, well, I need to see about 5 routines, and honestly, you've been out the whole season, they might all need to be stuck. And he did exactly that. 5 stuck routines in practice, earned his way into lineup here right at the end of the season. He stuck 5. Can he do it again? Not quite. But a clean routine nonetheless keeps the momentum going for the Illini.
Sean Smith, the third to go for Penn State on the floor. His last meet was a 12.85. He's got the season high and career high of 13.7. Ty Rodriguez setting his career high in his last meet with a 14.25. He's 5th in the nation.
Dean, this is one of my favorite vaults of the whole competition. It's a triple full. A little squirrely on the landing, manages to stay on his feet. But Ty Rodriguez is an angry vaulter. You see so many guys kind of trot into their vault so that they maintain control. Ty just lets it rip. So aggressive and so much power. Almost too much there. Has to stumble backwards. And speaking of stumbling backwards, Sean Smith on the left-hand side there on the floor exercise. Big double twisting, double layout, powerful tumbling, but overdoes it just a little.
Fred Richard on the right for Michigan. He finished 4th last year. He has scored a 15 on the horse, coming off a 13.9.
This is where that veteran experience needs to come into play. He saw his teammate have a fall right before him. Fred himself has had some mistakes earlier in the meet. He has to focus only on the present moment and do what he knows how to do. Beautiful flare work here from Fred Richard on the pommel horse, reminiscent of his old teammate Paul Judah. Very similarly constructed routine. Just the dismount, a little slow, but manages to get his team back on track with a hit pommel horse routine. Here's the Dismount, a little stutter on the way up to that handstand. Elects to not do that second pirouette. Will still get D value credit for that dismount, though.
Here's the Buckeye all-arounder in the third spot, so his score will count toward the team title. David Ramirez for the Buckeyes with a career high of 13.25, coming off a 12.65 in his last meet. Tate Costa on the right for Illinois with a career high of 14.3.
Tate Costa can be excellent at this event. There's a big skill called a Casina. It's a full twisting double layout. He'll do another one here in the tucked position. A little close to the bar, but not too bad. Coach Ribeiro said, we have so much firepower on the high bar. We've just been inconsistent this year. If we can fix that, we can put up big numbers.
Costa with the dismount and the fall.
Oh, uncharacteristic mistake from Costa on arguably his best event. Puts his hands down on the dismount.
In the anchor spot for Coach Randy Jepson and the Penn State Nittany Lions, Matthew Underhill, coming off a 13.45. Luke James, 14.5 career high. He's 6th in the Big Ten on the vault. 3rd to go for the Cornhuskers.
Unique pass here for Matt Underhill on the left. That's a double layout done from a roundoff. Most guys need the back handspring to generate that much momentum, but not Matthew Underhill. Good vault on the right side from Luke James, just a small hop. He's fired up and he's getting the crowd into it with him. Pretty good free flight there. Almost down the middle, just a little bit off to the right side. That is something the judges are looking for. But overall, that should be a nice score for the Cornhuskers.
Next to go for Michigan, a man you mentioned in the open, Aronson Mansberger, because he's 3rd in the country with a career high of 14.9. Last year at the Big Ten Championships, he finished 6th.
Just saw a big mistake there from Underhill and the Nittany Lions on the floor exercise. Overcooked that combination pass. Did fall and will lose the difficulty value of that pass that he was attempting.
The anchor for the Buckeyes on the rings will be Jesse Pikelli.
Mansberger right now on the right-hand side. Beautiful routine so far. This dismount has given him trouble in the past. Not today. He elected not to do the pirouette and the handstand there. He'll lose some difficulty value for that. But certainly a better choice than taking any deductions or risking a fall. He was planning on spinning through that handstand there, elected not to. But overall, a very clean routine for Mansberger and very high difficulty.
Sam Phillips, 7th in the country, coming off his career high of a 14.3. And think about how long his career is, 6 years now, as Sam Phillips, former Cornhusker, really good on the high bar.
Dismount for Jesse Pikelli and the Buckeyes. Double-double. Nicely done. Pretty clean routine for him. Sam Phillips, unique skill right here. Oh, close to the bar. He managed to make it look pretty good, but that was dicey.
Well, he really did fight through that, though, Brandon.
Well, he's such a strong athlete. He's able to cover up some of those mistakes better than most would. Landon
Simpson will hit the floor as an all-arounder. This will not count for the team score. His career high is a 13.3.
And Sam Phillips is willing his way through this high bar routine right now. His release combinations were a little muscled. You see the expression there. We made it work. Here's what the judges see. And he's just so close to the bar. I mean, his feet almost clipped it. Fantastic awareness here and quick thinking. to come out unscathed from that routine.
Chase Mondi, 7th in the nation, finished 4th last year at the Big Ten Championships on the vault.
Dismount for Landon Simpson, pretty good, just a small hop. Chase Mondi on the vault, same thing, just a small hop, but beautiful form in the air for Chase Mondi. Probably one of the best 2.5 vaults that we'll see. Relatively large leg separation during the pre-flight from the springboard to the table there, but in the air, there's just nothing you can take. Knees are straight, feet are together. It's exactly what the judges want to see.
Good look at the Nebraska corral as we here at Schooley, the all-arounder. Next to go for Illinois. Kellen Ryan on the left for Penn State, an all-arounder as well.
Neither one of these athletes have competed all around very often this season. It takes so much endurance to get through 6 full routines throughout the course of a meet. Little bobble there from Kellen Ryan. Not a disaster, but a little bit of form on that front layout. That's what you want right there, though. Floor exercise is all about landings, and when you stick them, you score well. Garrett Schooley finishing up his high bar routine with another stick. Garrett Schooley has been stick city today, fighting for that all-around podium.
Max Odden, who's coming off his career high on the rings in the last rotation, last to go, as he's part of the all-around story. His career high on the vault is a 13.5.
Kellen Ryan finishing up on the left. Tough dismount, Arabian double front. That's a blind landing. Again, meaning he does not see the floor, has to simply feel where he is in space. Odden on the vault, 2.5. Struggling to stay on his feet, manages to get it done. A little shake of the head, he knows it's not what he's capable of. Just goes to show the depth of this Cornhuskers vault team. You've got a guy doing a 2.5 that's that clean in the air, not in the 4-up lineup. Almost looked to me like he was trying too hard to stick, put his feet out in front of him a little too much. Had to scramble to stay on his feet.
4 rotations complete, 2 rotations to go. Phillips back where he started in Nebraska. Rotation 5 when we return to the Big Ten Network. Live coverage of the 2026 Big Ten Men's Gymnastics Championships continues with the individual event finals tomorrow at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific, right here at Pinnacle Bank Arena. It'll be on the Big Ten Network and the Fox Sports app. 6 events. Break down how tomorrow works, Brandon B.
Well, the top 10 gymnasts on each event will qualify for tomorrow, and it's so much fun because the team title is not on the line. It is just for bragging rights. Now, of course, athletes can qualify for multiple events. They can opt out if they choose to. We saw that last year from Fred Richard. But it's so exciting because you can just go all out. Don't have to worry about hurting your team if you fall, doing a higher difficulty routine. So expect some upgraded gymnastics tomorrow night.
Well, plus, they do get a trophy as well if they win it tomorrow night, as they'll hand out 6 more trophies. Here's an all-around update. Fred Richards stretching his lead as he always seems to do.
That's right. He's out of that danger zone of being within a point. So technically, he could potentially afford a fall. Of course, he's seeking the 4th consecutive Big Ten all-around title. He would be the only gymnast to four-peat other than John Roethlisberger, Minnesota gymnast. He did that from 1990 to 1993.
There's John Roethlisberger, a three-time Olympian as well, including one where he came back from an ACL. Incredible. Of course, his dad coached him at Minnesota as well. Let's take a look at what Fred has done today with 2 more events to go, the rings and the vault.
And this is a testament to how difficult his routines are. The fact that you can fall and still score above a 13 is wild. So Fred does not have to be perfect. He does such difficult gymnastics that he can get away with a few errors. Of course, with his personality, he certainly doesn't want that. He wants to be perfect, but he's got a little bit of wiggle room here.
Michigan, as a team, second in the nation on the rings. Of course, first in the Big Ten. Fred Richard will slide in the 3rd spot for the Wolverines. Illinois will start on the floor. They're 10th in the country. Penn State will start on the horse, where they're 6th in the nation. Nebraska will be on the P-bars. They're 3rd in the country. I already told you about Michigan. The Buckeyes will start on the vault, where they're also 3rd in the country. Vahe Petrosian, who's coming off a 12-8, will be up first for the Illini on the horse. Kasper Garncharek, his last meet, he had a 13-4.
Kasper getting started with his pommel horse work. As a general rule of thumb, the more time you spend on a single pommel, the higher and higher that difficulty score will go. And I believe that first one pommel skill there, he had a little mistake, put his hand down on the leather a little bit abruptly, covered it up nicely, does what he needs to do, fights through it and gets a hit routine to start off the Nittany Lions on that event. A step out of bounds for Vahe Petrosian, though. Beautiful skill, a front handspring, double pike, lots of amplitude. Maybe a little bit too much on his first pass.
On the right, Caden Clinton for Nebraska. He is 8th in the conference, actually set his career high in the last meet with a 13.75.
Caden Clinton, really dynamic routine, hops into it, quite literally speaking. Has a really nice rhythm as he works throughout this exercise. You'll see some athletes on parallel bars almost do one skill at a time. Caden does not do that. He flows really nicely through this routine. Just the dismount for Vahe, double pike. Recently upgraded skill in this most recent code. Pop on the dismount, but not bad. Same story for Caden Clinton. Probably a 3/10 hop there on that double pike, but kicks things off pretty cleanly for Nebraska.
First vaulter for the Buckeyes, Chase Davenport Mills, coming off a 12.75. A bit of a stumble as he's got a career high of 14.5. Robert Knoll now on the rings, 9th in the conference.
On the right, Chase Davenport Mills does your Chinko style vault. Just a double full, not the highest difficulty. Did look like he also stepped out of bounds there with 1 foot. Won't be his best score, but because of that Yurchenko style, typically pretty clean in the air, should still be a decent score. Dismount for Robert Knoll, slide back on the landing. Pretty good routine, not the strongest athlete on the rings for the Wolverines. Should see some increasing difficulty as we go through their lineup.
Ricky Perez next to go for Penn State. Season high of 13.9 on the horse. Coming off a 13.55. Tate Costa on the floor for Illinois. Career high of 14.4, but coming off a 12.25.
Same skill on the left that we saw from, and another fall for Penn State. You know, Dean, we've been following these teams all throughout the season, and we haven't seen this level of inconsistency all year. We talk all the time about how these championship meets are such a different atmosphere and environment. The pressure is high. It's a bigger crowd than you're used to, a bigger arena than you're used to.
Podium.
You're on a podium, exactly. It can really make a difference for these athletes. On the left, though, good combination work there from Tate Costa, doing a combination pass down the side. That's a lot of gymnastics to do and not a lot of room. Ricky Perez notably frustrated with that routine on the pommel horse. Meanwhile, Tate Costa, solid finish to his floor exercise.
Nathan York, second in the country with a career high of 14.45, coming off a 13.45. Carson Eshelman getting ready to go for Michigan, coming off a 12.9. He does have a career high of 14.1. Eshelman on the left, York on the right.
Nathan, originally recruited as a pommel horse guy, didn't really make his way consistently into the parallel bar lineup for the Cornhuskers until this season. He's been doing a great job for them on this event all year long. A swing in the rings there for Eshelman on the left. They're called the still rings for a reason. Every time you swing back and forth in that handstand, it's a 1/10 deduction. Does a pretty good job of stilling the swing there. On the right, though, Nathan York stuck double front half. Does it in style. Big dismount coming up for Eshelman, though. Triple back. Small hop, but nicely done. Big time difficulty. It's worth noting with all these dismounts that the code of points has changed slightly in the last couple of years. Your element group bonus points are equivalent to the difficulty value of your dismount. So doing a difficult dismount is even more important than ever.
Christian Grahowski on the right for the Buckeyes, coming off a 13.7. Sam Phillips will slide into the lineup. Preston Nye has out. Sam Phillips with a career high of 14.75 set. Wow, he was an athlete for Nebraska.
And a stuck 2.5 for the Buckeyes from Christian Grahowski. This is one of those meets, Dean, where there's been so many mistakes, but there's been so many highlights just like this. Consistency wins meets, but when you do have mistakes, being able to make up for them with vaults like that is critical.
Penn State, Ritam Malik, the career high of 14.05 for the Australian. How about Sam Phillips? Probably had no idea that he was going to slide in, and all of a sudden his coach says, hey, you're in.
Well, as an alternate, you have to always be prepared for that. There's no days off as an alternate, and look at the fight to stay in bounds. He's happy with that. Managed to keep it together at the very end there. On the right, Ritam capable of big-time scores here. He can go 14 plus, but he's been very inconsistent all year. No such troubles today.
Fred Richard with a season high set in the last meet of a 13.9. He's 9th in the nation on the rings as a career high of 14.46. Fred Richard. And for Nebraska, Alex Natashi coming off a 13.1. Does have a career high of 13.9.
That's about as strong as I've ever seen Fred look on that opening sequence. Uprise to a straight planche, lowers into the Maltese. So difficult because there's no break in between those skills, and you have to control it, which takes a ton of strength all the way down as you transition from the planche to the Maltese. Big time strength from Fred there. Big dismount for Fred. Layout double-double. Small hop, but that is a difficult dismount. We see the tucked version. In other words, the bent knee version of that dismount all the time on rings. Doing it with a straight body makes it exponentially more difficult. And done so well, too. A lot of guys that do that dismount will pike down, bend at the hips at the very end there. Fred does a great job of staying in the layout position the entire time.
Garrett Schooley, 4th in the country, finished 3rd last year at the Big Ten Championships on the floor, coming off a 14-1, just shy of his career high of 14-3. David Ramirez, the all-arounder, will feature next for Buckeyes. This score will count.
Oh, and that's a missed opportunity for Ramirez. You see the frustration there. And the reason it's a missed opportunity is because he's so clean. One of the best right there. That pre-flight phase from springboard to table, he just keeps his legs glued together. That little scramble at the end, though, will cost him.
Landon Simpson in the anchor spot for Randy Jepson, coming off a 13-5. He's 10th in the conference on the horse. Penn State with one of the all-time great horsemen in Mr. Netarasic with the specs, still doing great things.
Good old goggles. Set a great legacy at Penn State on this event. One of the best to ever do it. Garrett Schooley there, such a powerful tumbler, but as we've seen time and time again, just too much, and then Landon Simpson on the horse takes a hard hit.
That is not going to feel good at all.
And he lands with his hip right there on the handle. It's a lot of momentum coming down on the horse there. That does not feel good.
Schooley on the left. He is 4th in the nation on the floor.
Landon Simpson going to finish up this routine. Great resilience if he can finish this thing strong. Unique dismount just from the side loop, so he does have to add that extra pirouette to compensate for the difficulty. But what a fight coming back from a hit like that. You can see he's still kind of tugging at his hip there.
Here's Akshay Puri, 7th in the country, whereas his brother last year did really well on the rings. Akshay with a 14-2 career high. Asher Cohen next to go on the P-bars in the anchor spot. He's 9th in the nation in this event.
Puri showing what makes him so good at the still rings. Just perfectly level positions, no sink, no jittering, just super strong in those string skills. Then on the right side, Asher Cohen, who put on a masterclass on rings earlier, showing off that strength on the P-bars, really uses it to his advantage on skills like this. Oh, and again, the broadcaster, Kirstine, he's usually so good at that skill. It's called a Hanma. Gets so much airtime on it because of his strength, but does take a fall on it today. Big dismount, double front, and again, what a shock from what, up until now, I would argue has been the most consistent team of the championships thus far, Nebraska.
Move back to the vault, where it's hard not to think of Cameron Nelson, who won it last year and is still in the scene, right, on gymnastics.
He absolutely is. And Cameron is one of those guys you truly cannot replace. He was just so talented. And another mistake. The pressure might be getting to these guys. And this is where it gets difficult from a mental perspective, because when you see these mistakes happening over and over again, you can see the look on Snyder's face there. The energy just gets sucked out of the room.
All-arounder Kellen Ryan, 12-7 career high on the horse. At the moment, it's Fred Richard in first, followed by Schooley and Ramirez for the all-around title.
Kellen Ryan, more of a powerful gymnast, not quite as elegant on an event like this. And again, another hard fall. He'll have 30 seconds to collect himself, chalk up, and finish this routine. Again, this does not count towards the Nittany Lions team total, only for Kellen Ryan's all-around campaign.
Cohen, who fell a couple times with 11-5.
Simple dismount there from Ryan. Sometimes that's all you can do. Finish the routine, get out of there. Don't risk any further deductions.
Another all-arounder for Nebraska, Max Odden. His career high on this event is a 13-6. Lost a few all-arounders along the way, down to 6. Odden, one of them.
Good peach to handstand element there. That's where the grip on the bars becomes so important. We talked earlier about how on the high bar you have those grips to help you out. Not so on the parallel bars. These guys will use anything they can to get a stickier grip. Honey, chalk, and another mistake. Something's in the water here in Lincoln, Dean.
You know it. We have completed 5 rotations. We have one more to go here as part of our coverage of the Big Ten Men's Gymnastics Championships. Final rotation on the bounce. You are watching the 2026 Big Ten Men's Gymnastics Championships, coming to you from Pinnacle Bank Arena in Lincoln, Nebraska. The Cornhuskers, outstanding hosts, as they always are. We are headed to the final rotation. As you see, Michigan with the lead, and then you can see how close Nebraska is, as well as Illinois.
That host team is so close to Michigan. The thing is, though, Dean, Michigan is going to vault, which, as we've said, is the highest scoring event in men's gymnastics, typically a safer event as well, whereas the Cornhuskers will be going to high bar, where there's just more opportunity for the judges to take deduction, and it's also higher risk, higher reward.
All right, the all-around story, Fred Richard. Looks like he's going to do it again. Fred Richard, if you're wondering about him on the vault, he's pretty good with a career high of 14.9 and not even in the top 4 for Michigan, which is 6th nationally on the vault.
Fred can certainly be excellent here and extend that lead. Kudos to Garrett Schooley, not competing all around very much earlier in the season and hanging in there, trailing by only 1.5 points.
All right, we'll be back for the final rotation with Michigan in the lead as a team and Fred Richard, the all-around leader. Welcome back to Pinnacle Bank Arena, your outstanding host to the 2026 Big Ten Men's Gymnastics Championships, where tonight we'll crown a team champion and an all-around champion. And tomorrow at 8 o'clock Eastern, we'll have 6 individual titles in play. Regular season, another title for Michigan. Perfect 4-0. The Buckeyes at 3-1. It says a lot, though. Yes, Illinois 0-4, but they're 7th in the country.
Absolutely. They've had such a challenging season, just riddled with injury after injury. They've done a great job of fighting through. Coach Ribeiro said this is the most talented Illini team he's ever had, but the worst results to go with it. So if nothing else, a learning and character building experience for these guys that are going to be on that Illini squad next year.
Michigan, 7th consecutive title for the #2 team in the country. Daniel Ribeiro, I mean, the injuries have been wild. He said 3 of them were just random, like walking on a curb, playing basketball. I mean, you name it, and they've been dumbfounded by it.
I always tell you, Dean, gymnasts are the clumsiest people in the world. I know we do death-defying tricks here at the competitions, but in the real world, don't let us loose, man. It's dangerous.
There's Randy Jepson. It's hard to believe. He's been there 35 years, and he reminded me he had been an assistant for 8 years, so 40-plus years for a man who came from Pacific Northwest, fell in love with Happy Valley as he gets the rings ready for Mr. Malik. It'll be Alex Karajoff who will start on the horse for the Illini, coming off a tough 9.95. It does have a career high of 13. Meanwhile, Malik, career high of 12.8.
Malik will not do a ton of difficulty in this routine. Needs to focus on keeping it clean and minimizing any areas of deduction. He'll do a lot of swinging elements like that piked Yamawaki. He will get bonus points for connecting it directly to the swing handstand as well. Dismount for Malik. Not the best or biggest routine, but does what he needs to do to start things off on the right foot on that event for the Nittany Lions. Over on the pommel horse, though, the Illini with more struggles.
Anthony Kopi with a 14-1 career high will start on the right. Husker faithful have been great. Anytime Nebraska has done something great, they have been there for it.
Another break there for the Illini. And as unfortunate as some of these mistakes are, it really is a good opportunity just to see how these athletes can handle this kind of adversity in a postseason setting. Of course, national championships coming up in just a couple of weeks. These are the situations you find yourself in and have to be able to overcome. Big airtime over there from Anthony Kopi with the Coleman. Does some unique gymnastics in this routine, and he's a high flyer. Triple back. Couldn't quite find the landing, but stays on his feet.
Mentioned national champions. Michigan, your reigning national champion. They'll start with Solon Quixote with a career high of 14.45. He finished 3rd last year at the Big Ten Championships in this event, and he'll lead off for the Wolverines.
On the left, Christian Grachowski, one of the highest amplitudes on that straddled 1 1/4 that you'll ever see. Meanwhile, Solon Quixote does hop out of bounds, but again, there's a little more wiggle room on this event. Should still be a good score. Pretty good pre-flight. Doesn't get a ton of height or amplitude off the table. The judges are looking for that, but manages to stay on his feet. And quite frankly, that is all the Wolverines need to do for this vault rotation.
Akseli Karsikis, coming off a 12.6, will be looking to land somewhere closer to his career high of 13.8. Tate Costa next to hit the horse. Career high of 13.66 for Tate.
And that was a fight to the handstand there for Karsikas. This is tough, though. Handstand lowered down to the flange. The amount of control that it takes throughout the entire duration of that skill is immense. Step on the dismount, but not bad at all. Very unique dismount from Tate Costa there. Does the flare into a hop to the handstand. Don't see that very often. He'll hop over to the side and then initiate his pirouettes from there. Very cool, unique gymnastics.
Nick Tarka on the right for Nebraska, which is 4th in the nation on the high bar. Drake Andrews.
Unique skill there. It's a piked Jaeger. Done very nicely. Big release right here. The Coleman full twisting double back. Little leg separation in the air, but nothing bad. Same story for the Kovacs. Knees slightly apart. But rule number 1 of release moves on high bar is catch the bar, and he manages to do that. Double-double, big hop, keeps it on his feet.
Meanwhile, Andrews hits the P-bars. He's 10th in the nation in this event. Landon Blixt, who has scored a 15 on the vault. Second to go for the Wolverines.
Drake Andrews looking a little tired at the end of this routine, and you see it right there. Not enough gas to get through the dismount. Over on vault, though, gorgeous. Yurchenko 2.5 from Landon Blixt. So much distance from the table. That's something the judges are looking for. How far and how high can you fly?
Preston Nye, who pulled himself out of the all-around after the fall on the rings, is going for it on the horse, where he's 8th in the nation. Underhill 4th in the nation on the rings for the Nittany Lions.
Dean, you mentioned Preston Nye pulled out of the all-around, but still competing here on horse. Possibly a good strategic decision from Preston along with the coaching staff there at Illinois, because he's so good on pommel horse. He may have wanted to keep himself a little bit fresher for this routine, and for good reason, because that'll be a big score.
Meanwhile, the pride of Oconomowoc, Wisconsin, Matthew Underhill on the right.
Straight plunge late in the routine there. Such a strong athlete on this event. Those strength skills get exponentially more and more difficult the later in the routine you put them. Nice double twisting, double back dismount there from Matthew Underhill. Strong work on the rings.
Jesse Capelli, 3rd in Coach Sharapow's rotation for the Buckeyes with a 13.85 career high. Alex Natashi coming up a 13.35. He's got a career high of 13.7 on the high bar for the Cornhuskers. There's Jesse's mom and dad here from the Aloha State. A little different in Lincoln, not quite Hawaii weather this weekend.
Not quite. I can imagine the disappointment on landing and stepping out of the plane. No disappointments for them watching that routine, though. Excellent work. He says, judges, are you going to raise the flag? I stuck it, didn't I? And he got it. Big triple back dismount on high bar from Natashi. Nicely done. I'd call that a steak any day of the week over there from Bekele on parallel bars.
Brandon Dang next to go for the Illini, where, by the way, he is #1 in the country. He's your reigning Big Ten champion on the horse as well. His career high is 15.2. His last meet, a little subpar for Brandon at 13.6. Expect big things from Brandon Dang for Illinois. Charlie Larson, who is highly ranked,
does what he needs to do on the vault. That's another Yurchenko 2.5. Clean form in the air, just the hop on the landing. Barring any disaster, that might seal the deal for the Wolverines. Pretty good height. He's worked a lot on that over the last year or so. Certainly showing that improvement here tonight.
Brandon Dang, the very best in the country on the horse, rolling for the Illini as Penn State will see Kellen Ryan on the rings.
Such a difficult skill. The triple Russian on one handle, and that is tough work. Flying around here on one hand. Brandon Dang showing why he has one of the highest start values in the country on this event and fights to stay on the horse after that break there. Nicely done from Brandon Dang. Could have been disastrous. Manages to hang on. So dynamic. Those two back-to-back one-arm spins. Such intricate work with no room for error. Over there on the right, though, Mr. Ryan with another stuck Nittany Lion dismount.
David Ramirez, the all-arounder for the Buckeyes. His score will count. He is in the 4th spot, the anchor spot. He's 6th in the country on the P-bars with a career high of 14.05. Max Odden, 2nd in the country on the high bar, 1st in the Big Ten. He just set his career high in the last meet with a 14.3. Max Odden, you know, hey, the weather may not be great here, but let me tell you, the people of Lincoln, awesome.
Phenomenal. The high bar workers here in Lincoln are pretty good too. Max Odden is about to demonstrate that. On the left, David Ramirez flying high on that release element we mentioned during the open. He has one of the most difficult dismounts on this event being competed in the world. It's a full twisting double back.
Right before Odden, Natashi ties his career high on the high bar at a 13.7.
Good stuff from Ramirez on parallel bars. I'm used to watching him stick that dismount, but extreme difficulty nonetheless. Max Odden also doing a very difficult high bar routine. He also did the Liukin, which was that skill that we saw Fred Richard fall on earlier today. No problem, though, for Odden.
The all-arounder for Illinois on the left, Garrett Schooley, will hit the horse. This will not count toward the team score as we await the score for Brandon Dang. Garrett Schooley with a career high of 13.6 in this event. Chase Pappas, the anchor for Michigan, just set his career high in his last meet with a 14.5.
Big jump back there. Not what I'm used to seeing from him. He can stick that vault like none other, but it might still be enough. So clean in the air, good pre-flight. Little leg separation before landing, and of course the big hop back and another 1/10 step there at the end. It's gonna be close, Dean.
Schooley fell off the horse. He'll need to get back up to finish his all-around day. And Landon Simpson, also an all-arounder for Penn State. His career high on the rings, a 12.55.
Another break there for Schooley on the pommel horse. Will eliminate him from contention to take the top spot in the all-around. wobble on the rings, and that handstand manages it well. Had to fight for the handstand there. Double-double. Strong dismount, just the hop backwards.
Guess what? One more performer on the event. Guess who? Prime time. Fred Richard with a career high of 14.9. Michigan, by the way, it's official. They have won their 6th consecutive Big Ten championship. And Fred Richard, the all-arounder, will look to win another all-around title. He's got a career high of 14.9 on the vault.
Fred Richard with the victory lap for the team and likely the all-around competition as well.
And dare I say, Brandon Burns, even when he does hop, he makes it look good.
Of course he does. It's Fred Richard.
What a special athlete, Coach Shao for Michigan, as the Wolverines have done it again, as Big Ten men's gymnastics dominated of late by the Michigan Wolverines. No different today. Michigan, your winners, and we'll be back to wrap it up from Lincoln. It is indeed great to be a Michigan Wolverine. 6 consecutive years. Michigan is your Big Ten men's gymnastic team champion. Brandon Fisher from the Big Ten Conference hands the trophy. There it is, 6 in a row for Michigan. The Michigan Wolverines, your 2026 Big Ten men's gymnastics champions. Six in a row and 23rd Big Ten title all time for the Wolverines. More hardware, like stacking books on a bookshelf. The Michigan Wolverines, dynamic as always. Sticky landings on the high bar. Charlie doing his thing on the floor. Power on the rings from Puri. One little hop from Blix for Michigan. Every single rotation, Michigan outstanding. And Fred Richard, once again, your all-around winner, and he wins it big with a score of 81.3. Brandon has the victorious head coach of the Michigan Wolverines.
Thanks, Dean. I'm here with Coach Shao. Coach, 6 in a row. What does this one mean for you?
It's not for me. It's for the University of Michigan and for our boys. And they are working so hard and working the day in, day out. And they believe in themselves. They are a good team. They are good team bonding too.
Coach, it wasn't a perfect meet. There were some struggles here and there. How do you coach that mental toughness in your athletes?
We know it's going to be tough meet today, and there are no pretty meet for the championship. So we are prepared mentally, physically. We know they're going to be going to the last events. The guys deal with that.
Coach, as we look forward to event finals tomorrow night here on Big Ten Network, who's going to be competing from Michigan tomorrow for an event title?
We had so many guys ready for the tomorrow morning and evening, so we let you guys know, and we will see a lot of Michigan for tomorrow champion game too.
All right, we'll have to find out together. Well, Coach, thanks again. Congratulations. Dean, back to you.
All right, Coach Shao playing the role of the politician there, not giving away the farm for tomorrow. Fred Richard is a walking highlight. Power on the P-bars. Just one little hop backwards. Amplitude on the floor with a little hop. 13.7 on the floor. On the horse with a 13.2. 13.45 on the rings. amazing on the P-bars with a 14.15, and indeed Fred Richard can flex anytime he wants. And Fred Richard is getting set as well, and Fred Richard is with Brandon.
Thanks, Dean. I'm here with Fred Richard, now the 4-time Big Ten all-around champion. You're the only one other than the legendary John Roethlisberger to do it. How's it feel?
I mean, it feels great. It just shows me that over my whole career in college, I've been healthy for 4 years, been able to show up to Big Tens every time with my team and take the win. I'm just grateful. Had great coaches.
Fred, you're not shy to the spotlight. I mean, you've got such a big social media following. Talk a little bit about what you're doing for the sport of men's gymnastics outside of just these competitions.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to get more eyes on the sport. I think the sport is an amazing sport. We work so hard in every day. Look at the boys coming behind me. But we're trying to get the sport out to more people and make them fall in love with it and realize this is the best sport in the world. So making more content every day, doing cool projects, partnerships with brands, goals to grow the sport and fill these crowds one day.
Last question, Fred. Are we going to see you tomorrow night during the event team finals?
So I didn't see what events I qualified to, but the plan is to see what I can do and most likely compete at least one event. So yeah.
All right, we'll see you tomorrow night. Congratulations again, 4-time Big Ten all-around champion. Back to you, Dean.
He is such a cool cat as well, Fred Richard. And the Michigan Wolverines celebrating another team title and another all-around title. That is what they do. Let's take a look at the full screen results. Michigan with a 323. Mad props to Chuck Chimelka and the Cornhuskers here at home with a 320. And the Illini fighting through all those injuries with a 316.7. Also, congratulations to the Buckeyes and the Nittany Lions as well. But we came on the air talking Michigan. We'll go off the air talking Michigan, as that will wrap it up from Nebraska tonight. The results, you know it. Your team champion is Michigan for the 6th consecutive year, and your 2025 all-around champion for the 4th time is Fred Richard. Coming up on the Big Ten Network, it will be an episode of On the Beam. For Mr. Muscles, Brandon Burns, I'm Dean Linke. We'll see you tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern to crown the individual champions right here on the Big Ten Network.